This is part 2 of my bicycle ride along the Mississippi River. I just got finished with Eagle Point's trail, climbing this little hill here. We're gonna take the road, the old Chain of Rocks Bridge. We're across the Mississippi River, and we're gonna take the Riverfront Trail all the way south to McKinley Bridge. Alright, we're on Chateau Island right now. Oh my gosh. That gravel trail I was just on, Eagle Point's trail, let's shift up here. It was pretty bumpy. So this feels nice and smooth again, for the most part. My butt thanks me. So again, like I said, we're on Chateau Island, heading toward the old Chain of Rocks Bridge. I'm gonna stop on the bridge for a little bit and have a snack before I head all the way back here. I'm over halfway done with my ride today. I've gone 22.65 miles today. We're going 18 miles per hour right now. Just chilling on the road right now. Nice day today, June 6th, 2016. It's about summertime. Heading over into Missouri, USA from Illinois. It's a motorbike. I think he's going to be faster than me. Oh my. Whew. Yeah, this is a nice break from that gravelly trail. Part 1 of my trek today was almost all gravel trail. This part 2 is going to be almost all smooth pavement, so a nice change of pace. I got to go about a mile on this road here until I get to the bridge, and then I'm going to climb to the top of the bridge, stop and have a snack because my stomach is growling. It's getting hungry, or it's past the hunger point really. Going about 18 miles per hour right now. Slight uphill as we approach the bridge. It's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit today. Really nice weather. Not too humid. Like they got a parking lot to the right here. Bike route. Coming up on the parking lot. It says road closed. I think it should be open. Not sure exactly why it says road closed. It just means the road down to the river. We're not going down to the river though. We're gonna stay up here. We're gonna cross over the river. There's that parking lot, and the bridge is straight ahead. Old Chain of Rocks Bridge, which will take me to the Riverfront Trail. Got a bit of people on the bridge right now. big bridge. Used to carry automobiles decades and decades and decades ago. Whew. Up the hill. Pretty cool. It's like a forest below us right now. Chateau Island. Nice and quiet. Pop. I remember those plates, metal plates making loud noise when you hit them. Up, up, up. All right, coming up to the river now. Whew. All right, here we are. I'm not sure if it's going to say crossing into Missouri or not. Maybe. Maybe, baby. Whew. Oh, my butt. So we're going to stop here. I get a bite to eat. Yep, this is Illinois, so we'll cross over into Missouri. As you can see, Missouri 66. I think that's what we call the new Chain of Rocks bridge there on Interstate 270. This is obviously the Chain of Rocks bridge. Woo! Old Chain of Rocks bridge. See downtown St. Louis over there. I don't know if you can quite see the arch in the distance. This is the Mississippi River, very large river. So I'm gonna get a bite to eat, and we'll be right back. So yeah, the old Chain of Rocks bridge, that's what we're on right now. Pretty cool. Used to have cars that came on this thing. I think it's really only wide enough for one car. There's actually some accidents down there where the bridge turns because it was, I guess the turn was too tight for cars or something. I think I read something about that before. So yeah, there's the Mississippi River. Let's not drop the camera in the river. Okay. Some people park down there. When there's sort of a drought, it's actually sort of like a beach over there. Can't really see any sand right now because the water's higher. But yeah, Mississippi River, St. Louis over there. Really cool. It's Illinois over there. So I'm gonna get something to eat. So I got this fudge nuts. It's a picky bars. Looks pretty good. Nutritional facts here. Give it a shot. All right. So we had a good snack break there. That was actually a pretty good energy bar. Really tasted more like a chocolate bar, but it was still good. Chocolate's always tasty, especially dark chocolate. So continuing on my ride, I've gone for hour 42 minutes, gone about 24, 25 miles almost. I think we got at least 10 miles to go here, and that'll be the end of our ride. So now we just went around the bend. We're in Missouri now, going down the old Chain of Rocks bridge, heading downhill. We're just sort of gliding downhill, taking it nice and easy. Like I said, I still got a little bit of ways to go today, but not quite the recovery lap here, but crossing over into Missouri. Feel really good. Really the only thing that's it's only sort of sores my butt. I'm not used to the longer rides so much without stopping occasionally, at least I did right back there. So yeah, I could certainly keep going longer and longer and longer. I know I could. People have asked me in the past, do I wear mountain biking shorts or some sort of a short with you know, like a soft pad inside, or a friction pad as they used to be called. And no, I do not. I just wear regular boxers and pants. Left. Oh my gosh. This gear is way too low for pavement, so thankfully I got a second gear. This is just perfect. So it's like I got a good gear on this bike for gravel and a good gear on this bike for asphalt. And it works for me, so if you want something simple, check out my bike. Link in the description below, hopefully. This is my Diamondback bicycle. I've converted it to 2-speed. Why could you not just ride a 20-speed bike and just use 2 speeds? You could. You don't have to though. You don't need a rear. You don't need a rear cassette, in my opinion. I am still using a rear derailleur though to take up chain slack. So you would almost say, well, hey, that defeats the purpose. We're gonna have that. Might as well have a cassette, right? Either way. Wait until we get an opening here. There we go. For some reason they have you climb the hill here. And then you go right back down the hill, so. Otherwise, the majority of the Riverfront Trail is it's quite flat. There are little sections like this though, where you go uphill and then you come right back down. Whew. Oh my gosh, it is nice and comfortable under the shade. It is really cool. I feel like the temperature dropped 10 degrees under here, under the canopy. Da, 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 da. Oh, more hill. I didn't even know there was more hill. Up, 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 up. And down. So, like I said, I do have a rear derailleur to take up chain slack. For my 2-speed bike, I might get an actual chain tensioner instead. We'll see. I'll save a little weight, but just using a dummy old rear derailleur though works just fine. Okay. So things that have been going on in the St. Louis region, they're gonna move the National Geospatial Western Headquarters military complex from South St. Louis to North St. Louis. There was a big deal about that. They thought it was gonna maybe move to Illinois, but it's gonna stay in Missouri. And they're gonna use about 100 acres of land north of the city to build the complex on. What's to become of the old complex, though, is what I'm wondering. Either way, they were gonna move, though, so that was gonna be there anyway. But so that's sort of interesting. If you're not a fan of the NSA, well, that's one of the agencies that takes satellite pictures of you from space. That's a little spooky. Alright. So for whatever reason, I guess because there's, I don't know, some property or something they couldn't get around, they had you come over here on this side for the Riverfront Trail, so we're not actually on the riverfront. But we're about to cross back over there at this intersection. I'm gonna line up my bike. Wait until there's absolutely no traffic, then I'll cross. Might be a moment though. People going rather fast on this road. The speed limit's 45, but in my experience, at least in St. Louis, everyone breaks the speed limit, so people are going closer to freeway speeds on that road, probably closer to 55 miles per hour. This looks very bumpy. So now where are we? We're at the North Riverfront Trail Park or something like that, I think. So we got a little ways to go now. In one of my past videos, it was probably Lost in East St. Louis or something, I actually rode for a portion on the Riverfront Trail from the McKinley Bridge south. Now we're coming from the north and going south, so this is the other part of the Riverfront Trail I have not filmed or posted video of before in the past. So this is all new to you guys for this channel. In North St. Louis right now along the river. I'm not right along the river's to my left. Unfortunately, a lot of this trail you can't actually really see the river, but oh well. Da, 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 da. Whew. Gone 26.5 miles. We might start seeing a little bit more people now that we're on the Missouri side. Oh. There are puddles everywhere though, and this is why I have my rain fenders. So at least I get to use them once today, right? Da, 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 da. And there you go. I might not run across any other puddles, but for those two puddles, I had my fenders with me. So after eating my little snack, I definitely feel re-energized. I would like to have a little more water though. I still got some. But I actually have a lot of water back in my car, so when I get back there, I'll definitely rehydrate. Let's avoid this puddle. So you can start to see a glimpse of the river there to the left. Huh. A lot of stuff in the air. Let's see, downshift. This is one of those weird in-between spots with my dual speed, double speed, 2-speed bicycle. Or maybe having a gear between the easy and the hard would be helpful. I know some people like to have 3 chain rings in the front, like a mountain biking sort of setup, and then just 1 cog in the back, or maybe 2 in the back. And they're like, hey, these 3, 4, 5 speeds are just enough for me. And then eventually you work your way back to the old-fashioned bicycles, 10 speeds, and then you got 20. And then 22, and then more maybe. A nice brisk pace here, 16 miles per hour. We've gone today, this isn't not just part 2, but all these 3 videos I posted here recently. We've gone 27.3 miles. This might be one of my longest videos where I'm not, you know, riding on the Katy Trail, because those videos were pretty long too, like 30 miles. This is obviously broken up into multiple parts though. I was going to do one really long video, but I don't know, I think I sort of decided to just break them up into smaller parts. I don't know if I'm going to do that in the future, but because I am sort of lazy. I just post stuff unedited, raw. But this time I think I'd, you know, break it up into segments maybe. That's what I'm doing. Riverfront Trail. I think I mentioned it. Yeah, I'm on the Missouri Riverfront Trail right now. I think I already mentioned that. Probably the only other longer video I've done where I was on a paved trail was the Madison County Trail System in Illinois. That was a little while ago, earlier this year. Might have been around Valentine's Day, I don't remember. February maybe. That's sort of funny, they got some things painted up there. There's old train tracks to my left, but they're old. I guess there used to be a train or something that went along here on the rails years ago. I feel like I'm fighting against the headwind. That's always fun. I always keep telling myself when I plan out my long routes or my longer bike rides, like, oh well, I'll try to plan it so when I'm leaving, I'm going against a headwind or going up a big long incline. And then on the second leg of my trip, I'll be having a nice tailwind at my back when I'm more tired, and it'll be a nice pleasant ending to the ride. But occasionally it ends up like this, where it's like pushing against the headwind to the end. That's alright. Good exercise. Good fun. So I just passed under a little probably a railroad track or something, bridge there. Just got a little tiny bit more to go here, and then we're gonna get up onto like a levee or something, part of the real Riverfront Trail there. Right now we got a big gap to our left. Can't see the river at all. And we're going along a road to my right, but we're gonna stop following this road. It's gonna get a little more scenic, a little quieter. If we can figure out what's going on here. Okay, I think let's go around that pile, that heap there. I don't know what that was about. Got a big hole in the ground over there. Doing some sort of utility work, I guess. Crossing a bridge here. Ah, another puddle, there you go. Ah, Riverfront Trail. Now we're gonna get a little closer to the river. We're gonna climb a little hill here. And it's pretty scenic, or pretty wide open, like my previous videos where, yeah, it's a big, wide open, sort of a scenic field, sort of a setting, so pretty cool. Going 17.6 miles per hour. I'm going to downshift here in a moment, unless I decide to grind my way up, which I might just do. It's pretty gradual. Up the hill. Da, 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 da. And here you go. Wide open. And yet again, the unfortunate thing with this Riverfront Trail is they get you about as close as you can get to the river, but so much of it is always covered up. See? And you can't even see the river. Now there is a little bridge up ahead. Might take a look at that. See if we can get any better views. I am well familiar with this area though. It just seems to go on and on and on. Now keep in mind though, this was back when I was, you know, getting back into cycling and I hadn't ridden my bike for a while. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is such a long trail. I think it might have also just seemed longer though, because the first several times I've gone on this trail, I go out and back. And I think that makes it seem a lot longer. But since I'm making a big loop and I haven't actually been on this part today, it's, you know, sort of new to me. So, I don't really think you can see anything there to the left, so we're going to keep going straight. Here comes some cyclists. We'll give them a wave. Hey guys. MRT, Missouri Riverfront Trail, I guess. I don't think Riverfront's one word, though. Missouri River Trail, maybe? I know I've mentioned this in the past, previous videos, and rarely do I have people pass me, you know, because I'm going too slow or whatever. But I still remember to this day, when I was riding my GMC Denali, I doubt the guy's watching, but I was riding my GMC Denali, going this direction, probably right around this area, maybe a little bit further forward of this area here. And the guy was really nice. He's like, say hello, how you doing? And then he took off, and it was like way ahead of me. It's like, oh my gosh, that guy's fast. Of course, this was back when I was riding my GMC Denali, which is not a bike that particularly is very fast, and I was also not particularly in great shape in terms of cycling, because you know I've been a runner on again, off again throughout my life. Always been sort of I guess sort of genetically predispositioned to be a pretty good runner, but as a cyclist, you know, I never really got into the game a whole heck of a lot until recent years. And now I got this awesome channel where all of you enjoy watching my videos, so thanks for watching. We've gone 29.55 miles. This bridge thing coming up on the left, it might not be as overgrown, so I might see if I can climb back in there, get you a better view of the river. Get a sip of water here. I wish there was a good spot for a third water bottle on a bike, but unless you got a little teeny tiny water bottle, there's really no good options. You can stick a water bottle up front, you can stick it on the back of your saddle, you can stick a water bottle underneath the down tube if you got enough room. It's gonna get all nasty and dirty down there, but you could do that. Use some sort of a attachment system, but generally speaking, you can only fit two nice large size water bottles on the inside of your frame, unless you got a really big frame because you're a really tall person. So I guess the best solution is to just, if you're not going to carry water on your back, let's check this out here, to no one behind me, usually wouldn't stop right in the middle here, would be to you know, carry water in your back, or just use two very large water bottles. As you can tell, that is all overgrown, and I sort of doubt there's any snakes in there, but as you can see, there's also a gate, because I purposely do not want you walking out over there, so I will not walk out over there. And I don't want to hurt myself and chickening out. So we're just going to keep riding here. But as you could see when I was turning the bike there, you can see the river. It's over there, trust me. About to pass a threshold here. Let's count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have gone 30 miles so far, and our moving time, 2 hours, 5 minutes. So you can figure that out pretty easily. If we've gone 30 miles in the course of 2 hours, that's an average moving speed of 15 miles per hour. So if you're curious what my average speed is here right now on this ride, that's what it is. Taking into account that the first half of the ride, I was stopping probably a little more often, and I was riding on a gravel road / trail, and you always can't go very fast on those things. Not as fast as you can on something like this, even though I'm sort of slowing down, as I know I'm getting closer to the end. So as I anticipated, this whole ride is going to be over 30 miles, and my guess is sort of like, well, maybe it's going to be closer to about 34 miles. So that means I got 4 miles to go. However, it seems like I should have even longer to go than that, so I might. We'll see. this whole trip might end sooner than I anticipated. Although I didn't really expect to be out more than 2 hours, so it's already going longer than I thought. But it's going pretty smoothly. It's been pretty darn fun. Hope you guys are enjoying it, guys and gals. Whew. So what have I liked more on this trail? Part 1 or part 2 of this loop around? I'll try to post the link to the map of my route if I remember. Gosh, unless I go back and watch this whole video, or all these videos, I'm not sure if I remember all these links I want to post in the description below, but I'll try to post my route. I want to say part 1 was more interesting to me, but only maybe because I hadn't ridden that part before. That was all sort of new to me. I've been down this section quite a few times, so it's nothing new to me. It is paved too though, so I ride on a lot of pavement, or a lot of roadway, because I'm a bike commuter, and riding on gravel trails is not something I'm very familiar with. So when I do it, it's a nice change of pace. So we've gone about 31 miles now. We're averaging, or well, we're going right now at 17 miles per hour. If I had to guess what my cadence is, I don't have a cadence meter or anything. It's definitely below 90. I'd say my cadence is probably sort of low. It's probably about 70. So more than 1 turn of the crank per second, but still, it's not that fast. It's not like 1.5 turns of the crank. Or 90 RPM. Bicyclist up there. Going downhill a little. That chance to get a little bit of speed. Going 23, although I only got 2 gears, so I can't really go super fast. There's a flood wall to my right. The river is to my left. Again, you can't really see the river though, because it's all that foliage. I promise we'll see the river one more time though before the video's over, as I cross the McKinley Bridge. You see a nice good view of St. Louis and the great Mississippi River. Oh. It's really flat here. I think we might be able to see the river back here, so hang on a second. Turn around. There we go. It's a little muddy. Trying not to stomp too hard in this mud, because it is very muddy back here. Oh gosh. There you go. Mississippi River. All right. Oh, it is muddy back here. You can see my tire track. Oh gosh. Oh. It's obviously been raining quite a bit recently. I need to find some grass or something to clean off my shoes. Oh. Feet are covered in mud. I'm all muddy. I'm all muddy. Alright. Hang on a second as I try to get off my shoes. Nice and quiet. Oh my, I'm all muddy though. It's a good thing I got mountain biking shoes and these mountain biking pedals, because you know I'm able to clip in all just fine and everything, but oh, you see all the mud clicking up off my wheel. That's what that ticking noise is. Maybe if we get a little bit of speed going, we can flick off all this mud. Upshift. Here we go. Going 23, 24. Da 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 da. Oh my. I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I don't think I'm going to do that again. Walking in all the mud over there. I didn't really have to do that, and now I'm all messy to clean off after this. Woo. So as you could see earlier, I constantly pointed out downtown St. Louis, but in this video we're not going to downtown St. Louis, so we won't actually be going that far. In fact, we might only have a couple more miles to go. We shall see. Again, I'm on the Riverfront Trail heading south. I'm in Missouri, along the Mississippi River. Flood wall to my right, and the river's to my left. There's a couple access points, like that one back there where I was climbing through the mud. I need to hose down this bike after, I think. I didn't really get into the mud like a mountain bike, but I need to clean this bike anyway. I haven't cleaned it in a while. I think the wheels will clean themselves sort of over time, because it just sort of flakes away. But my shoes and I think we keep going straight, and my pedals are going to need to be cleaned. So multiple times when I've actually come out and tried to ride on this Riverfront Trail, this section I'm in right now is actually flooded. You know, I mean, so much so that, you know, I couldn't, you know, keep going. I had to turn around. right now the water's pretty low. There's no issue at all. But there's one time I still remember to this day. It's fun stuff like that, you know, that make life interesting. But I think that might have been a 3-0 back there, so we might be at the 3-mile marker on the Riverfront Trail. I don't know. So we might only have about another mile or so to go before we near the end of this video, maybe. But yeah, I think it was like this area, or just a little bit further forward. I might have gotten past like I got past like a really deep watery area, water section of water. And I got up to this point and I'm like, all right, I did it. There's probably no one up ahead. I got so far. And I went further and I was like, uh-oh. And it was flooded out again. There was another section that was just totally flooded out. And there was no way around it, really. I mean, I could have climbed up the levee there and walked along the gravel road. But I was like, screw it. It's just too flooded out, the trail, so I had to turn around. But that's okay. It was interesting. It was different, exciting. We're going to make a right here, pass through the floodgate. It's Merchant's Bridge right above us. That's probably the bridge we saw the train on earlier, maybe? I don't know, maybe from a distance. Back at Chateau Island in my previous video. Eagle Points Trail. Yeah, some of this mud is flaking off. So we're doing pretty good. It's drying up pretty quick. I did a video recently about my bicycle shoes. They're pretty brand new shoes. And it's like, I got mud on them already. Oh well. It's like getting a scratch on a new bicycle or something. But yeah, it's bound to happen eventually. And eventually you just come to terms with it. Or you just stop riding the bike because you're so worried about it, which is horrible, but eventually you learn to live with it. Say it's, you know, it gives it character. Character. Alright. So, up ahead, the next bridge is McKinley Bridge, which is where we're going to end this video. And I think I was about right. Well, we are seeing a little bit more cyclists now, but as I anticipated as we get closer to St. Louis, but I think I was about right on that 34-mile marker point, because we've gone 33.4 miles now. You can definitely see a lot of industrial stuff to the right. And train! No one behind me, so I don't need to really worry about zigzagging too much. Oh, downhill now. Wait a minute. This area is opened over here. A lot of times this section over here is closed again because of flooding. So I actually haven't ridden this section for, gosh, it's probably been at least, geez, this has probably been at least 2 or 3 years since I've come down here. It's not that different. The other section just has more gravel. But it's more of like a, you know, we're on the other side of the flood wall right now. But, well, that's a little exciting. It's different. It just all links back up over here, so it's not that big of a deal. But it is to me. Again, there's the river over there. We'll get a good glimpse of it here near the end of the video. Yeah, because when it floods out back there, they close the trail and they make you go up under the levee where it's all again rocky and stuff like it was in the part 1 of this video on the Illinois side, and it's It's loose, a little more dangerous, especially if you didn't expect to do that or have to do that. As you can tell, the flood wall here is a lot shorter. I'm not sure why that is. I guess because we're more elevated above the river right now, to the left. Seems like we are a little. So the wall doesn't need to be quite as tall as some of those other sections. Because now the wall is getting taller again. Concrete wall. Okie dokie. Go through the floodgates and we have gone 34 miles. So this pretty much wraps it up. We're just gonna climb up onto the McKinley Bridge. We crossed a couple of puddles, so I guess it was worth it. Taking the rain bike on this ride. On that Madison County Trail video, I rode this bike with studded tires with spikes because I was worried about ice. And in that same video, there was again only like a couple or a few sections where there was really ice. There was like snow in some sections left over, but for the most part I didn't really need the studded tires. So always good to be prepared though. So right now we're climbing up onto the McKinley Bridge. We're going to cross back into Illinois, and this will conclude our lap around the Mississippi River. I would say the total distance of the lap or loop or whatever you want to call it, if you want to do this yourself and you live in the St. Louis area, I would estimate the total mileage to be maybe 18 miles. Let's see, if we go like 35, subtract 10, that's 25. Oh no, subtract 2. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I guess the whole lap is like 23 miles. The only reason why my ride today is 35 is because I went on the Eagle Points trail thing out on Chateau Island, and that added like 12 miles to my total ride. So what would have been 30 or 23 miles ended up being 35 miles, so, which is fine. So we've almost climbed all the way up here onto the bridge. As you can tell, there's going to be a nice view here of the river on McKinley Bridge. I've ridden across it at least once, maybe twice in past videos. I always think it's a really good location to see the city of St. Louis. Might actually be a pretty good spot to see fireworks too, come 4th of July. Although there are some good spots in Illinois, on the Illinois side of the Missouri River, or Mississippi River I should say, where you can see the downtown fireworks festival and all that goodness. The Missouri River is by the Katy Trail. That's in West County, St. Louis, near the St. Charles area. Out in the burbs. But since we're closer to the city, this is what the city's got. You got the Mississippi River. And dare I say, the Mississippi River is cooler than the Missouri River. Although the Missouri River has some really neat scenery because, you know, it's more rural. So it's got that going for it. Whereas this is a little bit more of an urban setting. So we're going to ride to the Illinois marker here on the bridge, unless I already passed it. Keep looking for it here. Here we go. And this will conclude our ride. Thanks for coming along with me, guys. 34.8 miles. This is the Illinois state line. Mississippi River. And there's St. Louis. Big river. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, you guys. I am the Bike Blogger. See you next time.